Our lesson objective is I can evaluate algebraic expressions given various values of unknown variables. So first, let's go over some important vocabulary. So first, we have an algebraic expression. So it's a mathematical representation of operations between numbers and variables. So you're probably thinking, didn't we see that already? Well, what is different is that we have variables now. That's what makes it algebraic. Before, when we didn't and we only had numbers, it was a numerical expression. Now we're going to discuss the substitution property. So if A can equal B, then A can replace B in an algebraic expression. So now we're going to discuss steps to evaluating an expression. If I have this algebraic expression, 2x plus 3y, where x equals 2 and y equals, let's not do 2, let's do x equals 5 and y equals 7. So our steps to evaluate this expression include, first, we're going to substitute the variables with our given values. So we have x equals 5, so we do 2 times 5 plus 3 times 7. Now what's really important here is that these are both in parentheses. If you don't put these in parentheses, you're likely to make a mistake. Now what we do, use our orders of operation. So we have 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 3 times 7, which is 21, and then we have 31 as our answer. So just to fill this out, because I know it's in the guided notes, at this point I kind of wish I didn't include it, but it's okay. We substitute. Again, the information about parentheses, I just misspelled substitute. I just misspelled parentheses, and then orders of operation. Okay, we're doing great. All right, we're going to evaluate each expression using the variables. So first we have AB squared plus C squared. So we have A equals 2, B equals 4, C equals 7. So I'm going to rewrite this with parentheses wherever I see a number. I'm going to try to do colors, but for the sake of time, I might end up not using as many, but I'm going to start at least. Okay, so we have A, that's going to be 2, B's going to be 4, and then C's going to be 7. So we follow our orders of operation. I don't have the space to write all of them out right now. I'm sorry about that. But we're going to do 4 to the second power first because it's groups then exponents. So it's 2 times, I'm writing 8, 2 times 16 plus 7. Now we're going to multiply. 2 times 16 is 32. And then we add 32 plus 7 is 39. Now we go to the next one. We have 3x squared minus 4x, where x equals negative 2. This one's interesting because we have x appearing twice, but we literally just plug it in twice. So we do 3 times, and we're going to put parentheses there initially, negative 2 squared minus 4 times the negative 2. Negative 2 squared is going to be negative 2 times 2, which is positive 4. I'll just write that up here. And then we're going to write a minus. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So we're going to have 3 times 4 is 12 minus a negative 8. And then we have a double negative here, which makes a positive. So we have 20. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. We have A equals 3 and B equals negative 4. So we're going to draw our parentheses as we did before. And then we substitute. So we have 3 squared. And then we have negative 4. And then we do minus negative 4. So again, I'm just color coding. Now we use our orders of operation. All right, so we're going to go ahead and work through our orders of operation. So we have no groupings of numbers, but we do have our exponents here. So we have 3 squared. So that's going to be 9 times negative 4 minus negative 4 squared is 16. Now we're going to have 9 times negative 4. That's going to be negative 36 minus 16. And then we're going to have negative 36 minus 16 is going to be negative 52. Now we're going to solve number 4. So we have a squared b minus b squared. So we're going to have a equals 4. So we have 4 and then we have squared, and then we have b is -7, so it's times a -7 minus the -7 squared. So we just go through our orders of operation. We have no groupings of numbers. We have exponents. So we do 4 squared, that's 16, times -7 minus, and then we have -7 squared, which is 49. 16 times 7, think about it like 10 times 7 is 70. 6 times 7 is 42. 70 plus 42 is 102. I mean 112. So that's -112 minus 49. And then we do -112 minus 49. So again, think what's 112 plus 50? 162, but we don't have 162. We have one less, so it's -161 because they're both negative. All right, so here we have -y squared minus 3xy, where x equals -4 and y equals 2. So we're going to rewrite this. We have a negative, and we're going to have a parentheses, squared minus 3, and then 2 parentheses. So in this problem, x equals -4, so we'll have a -4 here. And then we have y equals 2, so we'll have a 2 here and a 2 here. So now we use our orders of operation. We have no groups of numbers, technically, so then we have our exponents. So we have 2 to the second power, so it's -4. And then we have our minus sign, and now we have multiplication of 3 numbers. So we have 3 times -4, which is -12, times 2 is -24. So I'm going to rewrite it like this. So we have -24, so I have that down here. And then I have a double negative, so I have -4 plus 24, which is 20. Now we have the same numbers, but we have the same problem, but with different numbers. All right, so x is -5, 6. So I'm going to rewrite that here. And then we have y is -12, so I'm going to rewrite that here. In here. All right, so now we're going to use our orders of operation. So it looks like we don't have any groups or exponents. It looks like we're really just multiplying or dividing. So number one, we have actually multiplication right here at the very front. We have this double negative. So this becomes 12 minus. Now I'm going to have, so I have -12 here, and that's going to be times this 3, and then times 5. So I'm going to do, so this is 36, and then times another 5 is going to be 150 plus 30, so that's -180 over 6. And then this is going to be in its own parentheses. And then we have 12 minus, and then we have -180 over 6, and that's -30. We have a double negative here, which becomes a positive, and this answer is 42. Okay, we're going to go a little bit quicker these last few just to try to get by with less time. So we have a squared plus b squared over a minus b, where a is 3 and b is 4. So take a second and try it. So first I rewrote it with the parentheses. Now we'll substitute. Now we'll use our orders of operation. So we have groups of numbers technically in the numerator and denominator because they're separated by this fraction bar. So we're going to actually evaluate them separately first, and then we'll divide. So we first have, let's do 3 minus 4 in the denominator. That's easy. That's -1. And then we have 3 plus 4 squared. 4 squared 16 plus 3 is 19. So 19 divided by -1, we're at -19. So now we're going to do the same thing for the next one. We're first going to substitute. All right, I highlighted the variables, and I drew the expression with the parentheses. So now we're going to substitute the variable. So we have -3 squared in the numerator. I forgot that before. -3 squared is 9, and then it's plus 5 squared is 25. And then we have -3 minus -5. That becomes a double negative, and our answer becomes +2. So then 9 plus 25 is 34, divided by 2 is 17. So here we're going to evaluate by first substituting again. So now we're going to go through our orders of operations. So we have groups of numbers. We have 2 minus 3, which is -1. So we'll rewrite it out. 2 squared minus 2 times -1 minus -3 to the third power. Now we need to evaluate the exponents. -3 cubed is -3 times -3 times -3. So that's 9 times another -3, which is -27. And then 2 squared is 4. So now we have multiplication. So 2 times -1 is a -2. And now we have these double negatives that we just take care of. And we have 4 plus 2 plus 27, which is 6 plus 27, which is 33. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this next problem. So I substituted in, I color code them, so just take a look at that. Now we're going to go through our orders of operation again. So for our groups, we have -3 minus 4, which is -1. I'm sorry, it's -3 minus 4, which is -7. Now we have our exponents. 2 squared is 4, and -1 cubed is -1. I just highlighted that. Now evaluate using multiplication. Change our double negatives to positives, and then we just add. And our answer is 19. And I just rewrote this -14 right here from before. That's why we rewrote it like that. Alright, after this lesson, you should be okay to go ahead and work through the practice on evaluating algebraic expressions by substituting values in for unknown variables and using orders of operation.